My name is John Welton, and I'm with the Salvation Army of Austin. About 3 years ago, Greg Pierce, the founder and owner of Zuma, came to my office. We talked. He told me about his new company that he was doing, and that their intention was to share their profits with the nonprofit community in Austin. And we were one of the nonprofits that they had selected, and he gave me a very generous check. And their business, I don't think, was even hardly a year or two old at the time, and he just came to us and gave the check. And about a year ago, they got particularly interested in the Austin Shelter for Women and Children. It's in East Austin that we do to handle women and children and that are homeless. They could stay anywhere from 3 to 6 months depending on their situation. And it's very generously funded by the city of Austin. And we've been working with a relationship with the city and the county on that facility for many, many years, maybe 15 years. Our downtown facility is open to anyone. And as a result, if you're homeless and you're staying in our shelter, you end up having mixed populations. And so one of the real incentives for us to go out to the shelter and do that specific facility was that we could get the women and children out to that facility in a much safer environment. It's a controlled environment. And Greg has continued his involvement with us the last 3 years. And so it was an honor for me to be asked to recommend them. And I was more than pleased to do it, and I wrote the letter, and I'm just thrilled for them that they won, and I'm very happy for Greg and his staff and his wife Carrie and all the hard work they did, and we just hope that in time they'll be able to do even more. Which one of the really interesting things about them is they give 50% of their profit to nonprofits. That's extraordinary. Every year their funds have increased their support for us, and it's a delight to know them, to work with them, and to nominate them for this very important honor.
I'm Amber. I'm the Director of Development and Communications for People Fund, and we're a nonprofit that elevates small businesses, startups, and nonprofits across Texas. The support from eBay has been phenomenal, and it's exceeded all of our expectations. On the short term, they saved us about $50,000, thousands of hours of staff time, and they helped us engage about 100,000 people via technology. But more importantly than that, they taught us to embrace technology, and they helped us become self-sufficient. eBay and PayPal were able to bring in professionals with really great expertise who could support our staff, train us on how to use these tools in the future, and really amplify our impact in our mission. They proved to us that there are corporations in Austin with staff who are willing to give their time and talent, and our volunteers have become a part of the People Fund family. Corporations like eBay and PayPal legitimately care about the success of nonprofits, our clients, and the overall community.
My name is Gary Lindner. I'm the president and CEO of People Fund. And what we do is help small businesses. And every day we embrace, we educate, we fund, and we inspire small businesses. But as a nonprofit, there's bigger challenges. Every day we also fight like junkyard dogs to get funding. So for us, that's really important to satisfy the mission but be financially sustainable. Well, unfortunately, we didn't win the Mega Million jackpot the other night, but we got the next best thing. We had a world-class organization step up and give us some sorely needed help, and we just think that's extremely wonderful. We lift people up, but eBay Austin has lifted us up, and they've been an enormous amount of support and assistance that we would otherwise never have gotten. And for that, eBay Austin, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You've made all the difference, and you'll always be number one in our hearts.
You know, the support of Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf is really twofold for Wonders and Worries. They have been such huge philanthropic supporters of the Austin community. And, you know, so on the one hand, you have the actual monetary donation, which has been huge for us. So our donation from them for the past 2 years has been more than $18,000. And for Wonders and Worries, that means that we're able to provide almost 700 therapeutic support hours for these children that have a parent with a serious or life-threatening illness. And that's huge because these kids really need our help. And so that's the monetary side. On the other side, you know, especially for nonprofits that are a little bit smaller like we are, it's so valuable to have a support of an organization like this because their reach is beyond what we could do by ourselves. So they have all of these customers coming in, and the way that Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf has supported us is through their wristband program. So they choose a charity, and during that month, anybody who comes in and is willing to donate at least $1 to their wristband program for the charity of choice for that month receives 10% off their beverages for the remainder of the month. And they allow us to come in, talk to their managers, which then in turn train the frontline staff about the mission of Wonders and Worries. So you're not having it to where there's just a brochure sitting on the counter. They are really telling these patrons what Wonders and Worries does. And so you have people that you would have never connected with, and you don't know what kind of connections you can make from a 2-second conversation at a coffee counter. I mean, for us, that can mean a new client, it can mean a client referral, or it could even mean, a lifetime donor. And so I think the fact that they have a really unique spin on philanthropy makes them a perfect fit to win this award, because they are incredibly deserving, and we are so grateful for their partnership.